Let me tell you this. You're not a bad person. You're just very, very good at waiting for someone else to be a good one. Picture this. It's 11:47 p.m. You're on the last train home. The carriage isn't empty. There are maybe 14, 15 people scattered across the seats, phones out, headphones in, the quiet hum of collective exhaustion. Then you notice her. 3 rows ahead, a woman, maybe mid-30s. She's crying, not softly, the kind of crying that shakes your shoulders, the kind that embarrasses you on behalf of the person doing it. Her bag has split open at the seam, and everything she owns is rolling across the carriage floor. A lipstick, a water bottle, some coins, a photograph. You see it. You see it, and for a moment, you almost move. Your body leans forward a fraction. Something in your chest activates. Call it conscience, call it basic human wiring, call it whatever you want. But then you glance around. Nobody else is moving. So you recalibrate. You think, someone will help her. You think, I don't want to make it weird. You think, maybe she wants to be left alone. You produce from somewhere inside yourself a small, reasonable sounding argument for doing absolutely nothing. And you find, to your quiet relief, that it holds up. The train pulls into the next station. People shuffle. She's still crying. The photograph is still on the floor. You get off at your stop. You don't look back. By the time you're on the escalator, you've already started to forget her. And the most unsettling part, you are, statistically, completely normal. That moment on the train, that's not a character flaw. That's diffusion of responsibility, the psychological cornerstone of what researchers call the bystander effect. In 1964, a woman named Kitty Genovese was attacked outside her New York apartment building. Dozens of neighbors reportedly witnessed some part of it. Almost no one intervened. Almost no one called the police in time. The world was horrified. Psychologists John Darley and Bib Latane were fascinated. What they found, after running experiment, after genuinely bleak experiment, is this. The more people witness an emergency, the less likely any individual is to help. Not more. Less. Because when responsibility is shared between 15 people, each person carries roughly 1/15 of it, which turns out to be just light enough to put down. You weren't being selfish on that train. You were outsourcing your conscience to the crowd, and the crowd was doing the same to you. The crowd, it turns out, is a very irresponsible entity. And here's the part that should make you pause. This doesn't happen to weak people or cold people. It happened to you. It's happening to you. In meeting rooms, in comment sections, in family dinners where something is clearly wrong, and everyone is looking at their plate. You've been waiting for someone else to go first your entire life. So, what do you do with this? You can't uninstall the bystander effect. It's not a plugin. It's closer to an operating system. But you can learn to override it manually. Name the moment. The bystander effect runs on ambiguity. It needs you to be unsure whether something is actually an emergency, whether help is actually wanted, whether you're actually the right person. So the override is, name it. Out loud, if you have to, even just to yourself. Someone here needs help. The moment you articulate the crisis, you've punctured the fog. You've made it real. That takes about 3 seconds and costs you nothing except the comfort of plausible deniability. Microaction. Next time something feels wrong in a group setting, say it out loud before your brain talks you out of it. Designate yourself. Studies show that bystander paralysis collapses the moment one person acts. So become that person. Not heroically, not dramatically, just functionally. Point to a specific individual and say, "You in the red jacket. Can you call for help?" Specific designation shatters the diffusion. Suddenly, there is no crowd. There's just you and one other person and a thing that needs doing. Lower the stakes of being wrong. A lot of bystander paralysis is fear of social embarrassment. You approach, and it turns out fine, and everyone saw you overreact. So, someone was briefly surprised by your concern. That's the catastrophic downside. Weigh that against the alternative. The math is not complicated. Being wrong about someone needing help is recoverable. Being right and doing nothing has a way of staying with you in the quiet hours. The bystander effect is not evidence that people are cruel. It's evidence that people are social. So social that they'll override their own instincts to stay in rhythm with the crowd. We are, at our core, creatures who look to each other for cues on how to exist. Which means the entire architecture of collective indifference rests on one assumption: that you, specifically, will wait for someone else to go first. The most dangerous crowd isn't the one that turns violent. It's the one that stays very, very still.